Sunrise with Sunrise. We're taking it all the way back with Remember This. Then it's Elder Rock, Change the Way You Age. Speaking of age, it's just a number. You're never too young to be a reading champion. Step in the name of love and fitness. It's a September not to be missed. Sunrise does Christmas in September, just because we can. You've never seen a sunrise quite like this.
Get Sagicor School Companion Health Plan for as little as $2,540 per month. The time by Sagicor Life is
7 o'clock.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday headlines, courtesy of Heart NSTA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, Samuda to defend JLP stronghold against new challengers. Gas explosion injures staff at Burger King. And body of man washed away in Gully found.
Also this evening, Holywell Park losing business due to landslides. In the business report, Derrimon Trading Company makes billions in profit despite challenging year. And in sports, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price to receive keys to the city of Kingston. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7. I'm Stephen McHugh.
And I'm Carolyn Brown. It's Wednesday, September 11, 2024. Thanks so much for joining us. Nomination day for the by-election in St. Ann has set the stage for a race between one familiar face in Jamaican politics up against two unpopular challengers.
Now, our reporter was on location in the Garden Parish to witness the official start for the battle for a key seat, which the main opposition party has boycotted. Here's Ramon Gordon.
It's nomination day here in Northeast St. Ann, and the atmosphere is ripe with anticipation ahead of the September 30 by-election between the JLP standard bearer for the constituency. His name is Matthew Samuda, and he faces off against two other challengers.
The familiar former Minister of Climate and Water, resigned Senator Matthew Samuda, will have to ward off at least two other challengers for the coveted St. Ann seat in just a few short weeks. Those men are Chase Neal of the United Independence Congress UIC and Independent David Fritz Anderson, who's unfazed by the toss-up in what many have called a JLP stronghold.
Right, when I'm elected, right, I will ensure that the communities are safer for the kids.
What have the constituents been saying to you?
Say go for it, we're ready. People of St. Ann, look out. Because as I've always committed in smaller scales, it's now to take it to the wider scale. Let's get ready. Let's get ready. Let's get ready. It's time for a change. Come on, people.
Up to news time, it's unclear whether UIC's pick returned to the St. Ann electoral office to receive an official nod, having initially arrived without the necessary witnesses for the process. The favorite for the seat, Matthew Samuda, arrived with expected fanfare, bolstered even more by an appearance by the island's head of government, Prime Minister Andrew Holness. With nomination fee paid with green $100 bills and fellow high-ranking JLP members acting as witnesses, Samuda officially threw his hat in the ring.
Right now, the PNP flatline, but we are not here for them. We are here to honor the memory of the late, great Shahini Robinson.
It's the late JLP star Shahini Robinson who turned the political tide here in the constituency back in 2001. But while there were reports of disquiet under the leadership of outgoing MP Marsha Smith, JLP supporters here seem supportive of Samuda's bid. But while there were reports of disquiet under the leadership of outgoing MP Marsha Smith, JLP supporters here seem supportive of Samuda's bid.
Will this enthusiasm translate on Election Day? Find out here on CVM TV News. I'm Ramon Gordon.
Thanks, Ramon. So with the Jamaica Labour Party, the JLP, the only one of the two major political parties fielding a candidate in Northeast St. Ann, the JLP candidate, Matthew Samuda, is most likely to be the next representative for the constituency. But who is he? Well, Jonathan Atkins tells us a little about the first-time MP aspirant.
The most likely electoral outcome in the St. Ann Northeastern by-election is a win for the JLP's candidate, Matthew Samuda. This is after the PMP opted out of contesting the by-election. But who is Matthew Samuda? 2015 was the genesis of a significant public political profile for Matthew Samuda when he served as president of the G2K, the JLP's young professional arm. Political onlookers took notes as he displayed political and communications talents. Samuda has served the Labour Party on its standing committee, on the Central Executive, and as a key member of the Public Relations Committee, where he played the role of prominent spokesperson in the 2015 and 2020 election cycles. His journey as a legislator started in 2016 when he was appointed government senator by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. His most remarkable work in the Senate was his private member's motion for a ban on single-use plastics and styrofoam products. But his break into the big leagues began in 2020 when he was appointed Minister with a portfolio in the critical Ministry of National Security. The Campan College alum was subsequently appointed as Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, with responsibilities for water, environment, and climate change. Now, the two-term senator is ready to step down. Well, to the lower house, that is. He is hoping that his next journey to Gordon House will be to be sworn in as representative of the people of Northeast St. Ann and make his mark in representational politics. Jonathan Atkins for CVM News.
And with an independent candidate throwing his hat into the ring for the upcoming by-election in St. Ann, it signals a shift in the political landscape. Britannia Witter tells us more.
Time for a change. That's the call coming from the independent candidate David Fritz Anderson, a man who says he's tired of the way things are, particularly in Northeast St. Ann.
We're fed up. Nothing is going on. Talks like those. That's all that's happening in Jamaica. And not even in Jamaica. Let me rule out Jamaica, but St. Ann on a whole. It's epic, and we have to put a stop to it. We have to put a stop to it. We're tired of promises. We're tired of, words that people come and say, all right, listen, this is going to be better, and it's not happening. We have to make a change.
The independent aspirant says he's campaigning on a platform focused on education and enhance community safety, promising to prioritize local issues over political agendas.
I need to try to beat anything, but I need to educate the people that are uneducated and to let them know that there is hope instead of promises. Fixing the issues with a heart that says, hey, listen, I'm looking out for the people. I'm not looking out to gain wealth for myself, right? So we got to step out of that and step into a different realm, which I've always hear people putting down youths, putting down people and say, no, they are written off and all of that. I don't think so. People can learn, but it depends on the teacher. So one thing you can be sure is a better community, safer communities. And I pledge my heart to that, right? Safer communities for our youths, for our children, right? Safer communities for our elders.
Anderson's main competitor is the Jamaica Labour Party's Matthew Samuda, after the People's National Party opted out of fielding a candidate for the by-election. Confident in his supposed victory, the first-time nominee says he's for the people.
Let's erase the if. When I get the nod. To be honest with you, I'm not into politics per se. I'm into people's rights and taking people from a lower level to experience the goodness of life.
Election day is set for Monday, September 30. Britannia Witter, CVM News.
In other news, 6 people were injured and rushed to hospital following an explosion at the Burger King franchise in New Kingston. Information is there was a gas leak at the facility along the commercial strip. Here's Trisha Gay Kelly with the details.
This is Burger King. Gas just jump right out. Big explosion, people are running out of that ball. burn off all them something that people are growing, all them something.
A regular work morning soon turned disastrous. Staff at the Burger King franchise in New Kingston were sent scampering after a major disruption in the entity's operation sometime after 10. The Jamaica Fire Brigade was alerted, and their preliminary investigation suggests there was a gas leak at the facility, which the company reported to the gas supplier. Commissioner Stuart L. Beckford says information he received was that the supplier thereafter visited the franchise and did the necessary checks. The employees were then advised that it was safe to resume working. However, 10 minutes later, an explosion occurred.
From our investigation, we have concluded that there was a build-up of gas in the facility from the basement coming right up to the ground floor, and with the introduction of some form of flame, whether it is the turning on of a stove or the flipping of a light switch, that would have triggered the massive explosion which took place here this morning.
The company must now focus on recovery, not only of its infrastructure, but also of its employees, 6 of whom were injured in the incident. Restaurant Associates Limited's Group Chief Executive Officer Lisa Lake says their employees are priority at this time.
This is the first incident of this kind in our over 40 years of operating in Jamaica's Burger King. Thankfully, though, there were no fatalities, and our team is recovering under medical attention. I've actually been able to speak with most of them directly, and thankfully they're okay, despite being understandably shaken up.
Commissioner Beckford is now advising restaurants and entities using large quantities of gas to take extra precautionary measures when gas leaks occur. He says calling the supplier and getting everything checked is the way to go. However, work should not resume immediately.
Once that repair has been concluded, then they need to take another step, which is that they need to have the building properly ventilated, meaning open the doors, open the windows to allow fresh air to pass through the building. Because if you don't do that, then what you see happening here this morning is likely to happen. And we are hoping that we don't have another repeat of this.
Adjoining facilities were also impacted by the explosion. However, Commissioner Beckford says the damage was minimal. Trisha Gay Kelly, CVM News.
More CVM News at 7 in a moment.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday headlines, courtesy of Heart NSDA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
Once upon a time, there's a girl named Kay. She loved to dance and play. One day at school, she got very ill, and Mom was left with an unbearable bill. It would be easier if Mom was prepared. With School Companion, 80% of the bill is cleared. Medical care for children is a must. For as low as $2,540 per month, make unbearable medical bills go away. Sign up for Sagicor School Companion today. Conditions apply.
Crunchy Box for only $8.50. Crunch your craving with the new KFC Crunchy Box. A piece of delicious chicken, 2 hot wings, biscuit, and Pepsi for only $850. KFC, it's finger looking good.
The Bureau of Standards Jamaica is your conformance testing partner with over 54 years of serving Jamaican businesses. Our world-class lab testing services ensure the safety of your food and commodities that you take to market. We are positioned as a business enabler, driving business development, competitiveness, trade, and ensuring consumer safety. We have 5 times the capacity to test over other local labs, plus 10 labs with accredited tests and calibration. We set the standard that promotes safety to consumers in a number of industries, including food processing, agriculture, and construction, having tested over 57,000 products on average annually and growing.
Hi, my name is Welton Gooden, and I'm the Executive Director of the Bureau of Standards. Let us take your products from lab to market.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday, courtesy of...
Your love lives on with life insurance from Sagicor.
Welcome back to CVM News at 7. Now in this follow-up, the search for a man who was swept away in the Gully in Kingston on Tuesday ended when firefighters and residents discovered his body Wednesday morning. Trisha Kelly has our update.
The Good Samaritan is how many label the now dead man who risked his life to rescue a woman struggling in flood waters. The corporate area has been receiving heavy rainfall for days, but on Tuesday, the downpour amassed to some flood waters in gullies. Over in Chesterfield, a woman boldly decided to rescue her pig from the water, but her efforts were unsuccessful as she struggled even to save herself. The reason she survived is because another resident saw her floating down the gully and geared up to assist.
And grab her in her neck and draw her into me now and hold her so with me and she said, please no let me go, no make me dead. Me say, you're not dead, man. Me hold on by you, man, everything all right. You see me? But the pressure with the gully I push with, and she said, wait here again. Me have to start ball for some people, that's why I'm a host, you know. Ball for some people say, wanna come help me, because me not let her go. And when she drop over now, she said, thank you, me love you, and just faint away. When she faint away, me have to slap her up on her jaw, so. I said, wake up, you're dead. And she said, no, me not dead.
However, the resident who first attempted to help her died after encountering difficulty in the water. The Jamaica Fire Brigade continued to search for the man Tuesday evening, but to no avail. Wednesday morning, the lifeless body of a man was spotted in the water, suspected to be the victim from Tuesday.
I have family and she will go down there now, so we have to look for him. You see, me end up walk past him, me and her walk past him, you see, show him there back, him end up see him in the water and say, yo, fambo, and the boy died.
As soon as they saw the body, one rode his bicycle to the police station, while the others brainstormed how they could remove his body from the water.
Look at wave still in my boss. Tell the kind of man I stay so too like him did up on all one limb, you know. You see it, I try to save him life, but you see it, because I hear like the big fridge that come down when him up on the limb. So come the big fridge and up lick him. Because when I see him, I panic, you know, I turn all lead that, you know, I don't even know what's going on. You see it, more than just call the police and call some people, we can help to dry him out.
However, they believe more could be done to save the man.
Because me a man say pass the rope in a kid, but they the youth them find them boss. Take a tap, it's a big hug them find my boss. More than them fear look for youth and try to save the youth life, you see it.
The youth are trying to save the woman, him dead, and the hug save and the woman save.
Yeah.
He has been identified as 18-year-old Rajan Melbourne. Trisha Gay Kelly, CVM News.
Meanwhile, a landslide at the Hardware Gap area between Newcastle and Holywell is hampering business at the St. Andrew Recreational Park. Similar occurrences over the past 3 years have left business owners and residents on edge. Adrian Williams takes us up that slippery slope.
We're in the cool, salubrious climate of the Blue Mountains. Holywell is a very major attraction in this area, a World Heritage Site attracting local and international guests. But with this landslide, it is hampering business along with movement for many residents.
So when this road is blocked, we have basically no business at Holywell, right? Because the thing is that most of our visitors are locals, and a lot of locals from Kingston come up on the weekend to visit this area.
With the rock this loose, persons who have to traverse this area are literally moving on the edge.
All of this area, as you can see, is a watershed area. And the thing is, there's a pond up there, where every time when rain fall, that pond full up. And then you just see the water start pump out the bank and it start to wash all from up there come down. So, based on my experience in construction over 40 years, if they just put a retaining wall down here, so that's not going to solve the problem. It means that they have to put a catchment up there and pipe that water from up there and bring all the way down to get this thing solved.
It's dangerous, yes, but true, we are hillsman and we are countryman. We not really, we have to move, so we have to move, you see me? Yeah. But when time other people come and them have to move, the whole we have to get down to work with the pick and shovel, see them way. Yeah. If you go through, yeah, we are going to town, we have to clear it. We are going to work, we have to clear it.
It was raining, so we were trying to make it up fast. When we reach here, the road was all black, so we have to turn back and go around the junction. which it doesn't make sense because my house is right around there. Right? Some people would have parked them vehicle and walk, but I had the load, I had the baby. So there's no way I could have parked the car, walk over, and then at the same time robbers was coming down. From here to home it will be about 45 minutes to an hour. And then to go around the junction, that will be about 4.5 hours.
With the area like this since 2021, the residents are calling on the Member of Parliament and other constituency representatives to take swift action.
So, Mrs. Holness, we ask you, please, kind of you, to come and do something about this thing. Because in where we in now, it would have look like you've been slaving us than serving us. And we all Jamaican vote here in to serve us, not to slave us. Because people have to come out here from 4 o'clock a morning time as long as rain fall overnight to dig down this road with pick and shovel and fork. Slavery done long time. So please do something about it. Urgent, ASAP. Would mind it start today. A retaining wall and a catchment up here and solve the problem.
Minutes after we left the scene, it rained and debris was blocking the roadway once again, sending the residents back to work with shovels, pickaxes and forks. For now, residents and business owners await a fix to this issue so they can get back to a normal life. Adrian Williams for CVM News.
And still more to come from CVM News at 7 in a moment.
Yeah man, make some noise because Burger King Double Deal Big 2 is back. $16.50 you get 2 whole Burger King combo. Is a win-win. Big 2 combos. Whopper Junior Cheese with bacon, American chicken sandwich or big fish sandwich combo for only $16.50. Spend 1 money, win 2 times. Food for me, I'm a party, or just for me. Cause me hungry right now. Myself and I go hungry later. You see it. 1 money, 2 food. Next 1 money, 2 food. Win-win. Burger King Double Deal Big 2.
Hey my peeps, get this on the regular. Your HIV status if you consider. At least if you test once a year. Just 15 minutes and your status clear. Cause it might not show up on your timeline and you learn too late so you're out of time. A progressive future, mandatory. Really long life, our story. You hear?
Remember, update your status in a real life. Go HIV test today.
Just 15 minutes and your status clear. Really long life, our story. Real long life was a youth coming from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Me, I go show them my way of justice.
I'm abused.
I need legal advice. I don't deserve this.
The truth of the matter is, justice there for all of we. The Ministry of Justice has trained more than 5,600 persons in restorative justice practices. More than 200,000 victims have been supported by the victim services. Legal aid has reached thousands island-wide. Make we talk it out, not fight it out. Call 888 Justice today.
And we welcome you back with a check-in on our social media spaces.
So, what's trending in our local social media spaces? There was an explosion at the Burger King location in New Kingston sometime after 11 a.m. with several customers and employees inside. At least 4 workers, 3 women and 1 man are in serious condition. Initial reports indicate that a gas leak may be the suspected cause of the blast. Here are some of your reactions. At YRRET_YRNEH_ writes, Mighty God, this must have been so traumatizing for those in the surrounding area. I hope there was no fatalities. At Clearskin_Bully shares, Ghetto youths for rich forever. I hope them not hurt bad for enjoy the little money they're going to get. At Annie Ayana comments, 9/11 is 9/11ing. At Kimbell Beauty posts, I don't miss working on this block. Every few months, some other building exploding. At Peachy Keen 876 adds, that's scary, cause any of us could have been in there on a regular day. At 876 Phantom_ says, gas leak and they all gathered to see, it takes one panicking motorist that wants to move their car to put y'all at risk. And that's what's trending online today. Continue to share your thoughts with us on X at CVM TV and the CVM_television on Instagram. I'm Ronaldo Adams.
And now regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. Trinidad will not send troops to Haiti at this time. This in response to a call in the Senate on Monday for the government of Trinidad and Tobago to give military assistance to Haiti as it faces a wave of chaos fueled by ongoing gang wars. More from TTT News.
Independent Senator Anthony Vera made the request, arguing that if gangs are allowed to take over a country, it is a terrible precedent for the region.
Urgently needs the assistance of its Caribbean neighbors. And I'm calling on the government of Trinidad and Tobago to take the lead on this. In April this year,
Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Emery Brown acknowledged that this country has a role to play in assisting Haiti and has been doing so in various outreaches and interventions. He noted that we are not able at this time to help in terms of deployment of troops to the country.
Tobago has not committed any troops. We are not in a circumstance that would allow us to send troops overseas to Haiti, given the domestic realities here. We have been in support to the overall process underway in Haiti. We are not in a position to put boots on the ground in that country at this time.
As St. Lucia strengthens its Citizenship by Investment Program CIP by aligning with other CBI nations, officials are stressing the importance of adhering to critical principles and cooperating with the United States to maintain the program's integrity and global compliance. More from HTS News Force.
In a prepared statement delivered Monday morning at the pre-cabinet press briefing, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre outlined key takeaways from an August 29th roundtable meeting among the 5 Caribbean CBI nations, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Lucia.
CIP countries are making progress on the final 2 principles, audits and the retrieval of revoked passports. The Citizenship by Investment Board has engaged and agreed to the scope of works with an internationally renowned consulting firm, Deloitte, and will soon commence its operational audits. The U.S. authorities have welcomed our steps towards establishing an independent regional regulator with an interim regulatory commission that includes representation from each participating island that is to be announced soon.
And in international news, Mexico's Senate approved a proposal allowing the election of judges by popular vote, a controversial transformation that critics fear could threaten the rule of law. The details from Reuters.
Mexico's Senate gave the green light to a controversial judicial overhaul early on Wednesday at a different location after protesters broke into the chamber mid-session. Demonstrators forced their way into the Senate building, intensifying weeks of protests against the reform, which critics argue could threaten the country's rule of law. Proposed by the outgoing president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, the reform calls for the election by popular vote of more than 6,500 judges and magistrates and reduces the number of Supreme Court justices from 11 to 9, with shorter terms and decreased work experience requirements. The debate resumed at 7 p.m. local time after being moved to the Senate's former base. Earlier in the day, Senate President Jose Gerardo Fernandez suspended the session as protesters filled the chamber, calling lawmakers traitors. Mexico's major trading partners, the United States and Canada, have warned the changes could undermine the trade pact of the 3 countries and negatively impact investment. Obrador and President-elect Claudia Sheinbaum have defended the changes as necessary for accountability and anti-corruption, while critics see it as a power grab by the ruling party Morena.
And that's it for regional and international news.
Stay where you are. We'll continue with our business segment right after this.
For only
Crunch your craving with the new KFC Crunchy Box. A piece of delicious chicken, 2 hot wings, biscuit, and Pepsi for only $850. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Me, I go show them my way of justice.
I'm abused.
I need legal advice. I don't deserve this.
The truth of the matter is, justice there for all of we. The Ministry of Justice has trained more than 5,600 persons in restorative justice practices. More than 200,000 victims have been supported by the victim services. Legal aid has reached thousands island-wide. Make we talk it out, not fight it out. Call 888 Justice today.
Crunch your craving with the new KFC Crunchy Box for only $850. KFC, it's finger licking good. The time by KFC is...
Come rise with sunrise. We're taking it all the way back with Remember This. Then it's Elder Rock, change the way you age. Speaking of age, it's just a number. You're never too young to be a reading champion. Step in the name of love and fitness. It's a September not to be missed. Sunrise does Christmas in September, just because we can. You've never seen a sunrise quite like this.
Welcome back now to the Business Report with Joel Crosskill.
Lots to share with you in the Business Report today. In a year in which Derrimon Trading Company Limited celebrates the 10th anniversary of its listing on the junior market of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, as well as its 25th year since operations began, the largest company on the junior market based on assets totaling over $16.6 billion in 2023, with gross profits of $4.67 billion and almost $19 billion in revenue, oddly enough, had what some might describe as an annus horribilis.
It was a tough year. It was a year where if many things that we thought could not have gone wrong, went wrong. But I think as a company that is built on being resilient and a company that knows how to pivot and how to chart new path, we would have been able to deliver the result that we would have published a few months ago.
Those results showed that revenue in the distribution segment declined by 12.77% from $8.2 billion in 2022 to $7.16 billion in 2023, due mainly to the discontinuation of a 20-year-long distribution arrangement with Nestle. Consolidated revenue for the group increased by 1.75% from $18.42 billion to $18.74 billion, as wholesale and retail businesses sold more volumes during the year, along with other operations contributing to top-line growth. However, the New York business, which contributes 35% of profitability as a major distribution hub for the company's proprietary brands, took a major hit.
Unfortunately, the landlord was doing some work on the roof. There was a storm, and there was windstorm and rain, and the rest, as they say, was history. We are going through, based on the devastation, the business had to be closed.
Fortunately, the group expect that facility to be reopened later this year. However, another piece of misfortune befell the company during the 2023 financial year, as a security breach involving a sophisticated ransomware took place on August 28. The breach targeted on-site, off-site, and cloud disaster recovery points, posing a significant threat to operations and data integrity. While 2023 is being described as a year of reconnaissance and future-proofing for Derrimon, coinciding with the need to make significant investments and outlays that will support future growth. Many of these investments and expenses have negatively impacted the short-term current results, but are positioned to reap benefits in subsequent financial years.
This year will be a tough year for the company.